That your dad is a history teacher. Did he ever tell you about Egypt and the pharaohs?
I'm sure we've had those discussions, and we will
have more
tomorrow and the next
probably
few days.
He'll be your tour guide, huh?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to watch like Egyptian movies, Arabic movies?
I'm sure I've seen some. I couldn't name any right now. I'm also a bit jet lagged, so if you have to forgive me, but
no.
I don't know if I can name any more than a few.
But you did.
Great. Yes.
You did.
Yes.
And how do you see the Egyptian cinema?
Well, I can't. I'm not one to really judge a nation's cinema, right? I can't say, I mean, even great French cinema has changed, right? And then there are still great films that are being made, but the type of films that Truffaut and Godard made are not being made today, and the market doesn't necessarily support those movies. Same thing with American cinema. American cinema it is very different from what it was in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, for that matter, and the 90s. So it's always in flux. I think what's beautiful about this festival is it gives a platform for local filmmakers and for them to have a voice and a creative outlet and an audience, because the difficulty with making independent movies is it's very difficult for distributors to justify a big marketing budget, and so therefore without the marketing there is very much fewer eyes on it, and then you don't have access to it. And that's the beauty of independent cinema, is that it is special. It doesn't have to appeal to everyone, but the downside is unless you're observant and looking for it, you miss some great work.
Yeah. How important are the international film festivals for all the world, for sharing cultures and seeing everybody, how the movie makers from different parts of the world share their thoughts, see each other's work? How important is that for all the people around the world?
I think I mean, on a pure level, film festivals are a wonderful entity. They, as I mentioned earlier, they afford filmmakers and actors and other creative people involved in these projects exposure, and exposure to not only an audience at the festival but distributors, and then there's often a bidding war if the film is intriguing to the distributors, and then there's a lot of awareness for up-and-coming talent. I mean, it was a remarkable experience for me to be in Cannes with The Pianist, and the film won the Palme d'Or, but that exposure, and I had been to the festival many times or several times with other films, but I'd never experienced anything like that, and sharing that with an audience that loves film was tremendous and really emotional. Film festivals are also a market, and so there is a commercial aspect to them as well, which is much a part of the business. But that exists and is a necessary part of some of the programming. But as far as the bottom line is that independent filmmakers end up with a voice, and it creates a genuine excitement. I think film festivals always kind of create a renewed love of what goes into making movies, and it's not only what I love, but many people love who don't even necessarily work in that profession.